March the 15th of last year, before COVID, we had the opportunity to visit 31 departments, 3 foreign countries, Indianapolis 3 times, Washington, D.C. 3 times. On the 13th of March last year, we were en route from Washington, D.C. to New Jersey for the New Jersey visit. We called, and the National Adjutant Wheeler said, "Son, we're canceling all American Legion traffic, go home." I said, "But man, we're on our way, we've got reservation tickets, all of those things, they're made in New Jersey." He said, "Okay, go to New Jersey and then go home." So we got home on the 15th of March last year. From the 15th of March until January, we were pretty much grounded. We were able to do 4 department visits in October, but between March and January, that's 4 departments. We had a lot of other things going on. We did a lot of Zoom meetings, virtual meetings, teleconferences, those things. We still carried on the business of the American Legion, even though we were not doing it in person. There was a lot of virtual stuff going on. But even during the time that we were not traveling, there were posts, there were legionnaires, there were people, the citizens of the country were facing the separation, isolation, the things they were not able to do because of the pandemic, and we all face the same sacrifices. There were posts across the country that closed. They closed bars, canteens, social quarters. A lot of posts have even lost their homes during that COVID pandemic time. And we need to make sure we remember those losses. And we've lost a lot of legionnaires during that same time to the pandemic. But as we think about that period of time where we were not able to do things, I'm extremely proud of the American Legion for what they were able to do, to able to carry on and conduct the business of the American Legion. If we think about the things that we were able to do, and there are examples in every department from posts across the country, doing things like preparing meals, drive-through meals, meals and delivery, PPE collection, PPE distribution, delivering groceries, delivering prescriptions, transportation, medical, virtual job fairs, blood drives. And I think that proves, even though the country was primarily shut out, the American Legion was still on the job, still doing what we do because of who we are. And that's our commitment to the country. But since COVID, and we started back to a somewhat normal travel schedule this year, from January until now. This will be the 14th department visit that we've been able to do. So you can see, before COVID, we did 31 in 6 months. Since March of last year, we're at 16. So you can see our travel schedule has been drastically deferred and basically put on hold. But we are seeing a lot of things open back up. A lot of the invitations are still being honored. And if we get invited, we're going to go. So it's just one of those things that we're still learning and figuring out what we can do and will continue to do. But even after COVID, our national headquarters, as most of the people in the office have not been working in the office, but they've still been doing American Legion business. Our Americanism folks still doing their thing, National Security Division still doing their thing, still concerned about the security of the nation. Our Veterans Affairs and Rehab folks still making sure Congress realizes the needs that we have and the things we need from them. Our Veterans Affairs and Rehab still doing service work, still providing services to veterans who are looking at claims in the VA. But in spite of all of those things, we have been on the job, still doing what we do. And as we move forward, we continue to do that. We have been reasonably successful with our legislative efforts last year and this year. And as we move forward, we still need to make sure we continue to keep the pressure on our legislative make sure they realize and understand what we need, what we want, and what we expect from them. But let me change gears. That's a little bit about what the National Commander has done, and sort of the responsibilities that we face. But my theme for the year is a foundation for the future. And the American Legion's 102 years old. We're still just as valuable, just as important, just as relevant as we have ever been. And I hope we can continue to do that. But when we think about the future of our organization, and I know the headquarters staff is getting ready to bury a time capsule in just the next short period of time. I hope when they dig that time capsule up, that the American Legion will still be here. I know we'll be just as valuable, just as important, just as relevant then as we are today and we were 100 years ago. But when we think about the future, I think about two things, two parts. The first is the future of our organization. Now, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir when we talk about membership, because this group has been so effective and efficient in their membership work, so that the membership work that they are doing. But membership is the lifeblood of our organization. If we think back to the all-time high Legion membership in 1946 was about 3.3 million. This year, our national membership goal is somewhere about 1.7 million. You can see that's not going in exactly the right direction. I can speak to North Carolina. Our all-time high was 63,000 in 1946. This year, our membership goal is somewhere about 37,000. You can see it's not going in the right direction. When we think about membership, we need everybody's help, everybody's participation in our membership works. We got a great team. I mean, Chad and his team, we got a great membership toolbox with all of the brochures, all of the stuff that we have to recruit and retain members. But we need everybody's help, everybody, a recruiter, a retainer, an inviter. If we look at last year, we passed the Legion Act that opened up Legion membership to another 4+ million folks. We expected to see a big jump from that new group of eligible veterans. We haven't. But we need to make sure if anybody knows a veteran eligible for the Legion, we need to make sure we invite them. And it's easy to say, let Jim, Jerry, Jack, Roy do it. They're our membership people. But we need everybody's help, everybody's participation. That's the only way that we're going to get back to where we need to be. Please, if you know somebody eligible, whether you're a Legionnaire, auxiliary member, sergeants, riders, period, if you know somebody that's eligible for the Legion, please invite them to become members of our Legion. We need your help. But when I think about the future, that's the future of the Legion. But we also have the ability to impact the future of this country. And I know somebody said, well, what's he talking about? Well, our children and youth programs are producing the future leaders of this country. And I know somebody said, well, that's not true, but we are. Last year, 2019, we had 55,000 baseball players. We had 18,000 boy state delegates. We had 14,000 girl state delegates. We had 10,000 high school oratorical contestants. We had 1,000 junior shooters, untold ROTC cadets, untold scouts. But if you add all of those together, that's about 200,000 young people we impacted in 2019. Now, take 200,000, go back 5 years, go forward 5 years, that's 2 million that we have the ability to impact their lives, teach them what our concept about Americanism or patriotism, what America means to us. And I know somebody's thinking, well, prove to them that we're doing that. Well, let me give you some examples of the people that have come through our children and youth programs. If you go to the Legion website, on the very front page, there's a picture of John Kennedy in the White House talking to boys age a delegation of Boys Nation. John Kennedy asked one of those delegates, he said, "What do you want to do?" Bill Clinton, who was a Boys Nation delegate from Arkansas, said, "I want you, John." Ended up as President of the United States. True story. Another good example, Vice President Mike Pence from Indiana won the high school oratorical contest when he was in high school. The greatest basketball players who ever dribbled basketball. Subject to debate. Michael Jordan from North Carolina is a Boys State graduate from North Carolina, or targeted Boys State. There have been presidents, vice presidents, governors, generals, mayors, senators, House of Representatives, major newscasters, NFLers, NBAers, astronauts, and the list goes on and on of people who have served this country that have come through one of our American Legion children and youth programs. That's how we're affecting the future of this country. We've got to make sure that we continue to support, endorse, make sure those programs do not falter. We need to continue to make sure they are funded, supported, and continue the development of those programs. I say we, you, me, we, us, are all enforcing and developing the future of this country with the leaders that we bring through those programs. Let me change gears just a minute, just a couple of other things. Last year, we started a program called our 100 Miles for Hope Challenge. The 100 Miles for Hope Challenge we hope to accomplish two things. Invite members of our Legion family to get outside, get some exercise, and get a little fresh air, maybe lose a little weight, get a little bit healthier, but have the ability to get outside and get out from under this COVID thing. But it was just a way to get some exercise. But it was also a way to raise a little money for our Veterans and Children's Foundation. Our Veterans and Children's Foundation is really the pot of money that we pay a lot of our bills out of, like our temporary financial assistance, our National Emergency Fund, trained service officers, and some other things. But the 100 Miles for Hope Challenge, we just wanted to get help Legionnaires and members of the family get healthier, but also maybe raise a little money for our Veterans and Children's Foundation. Last year, we had about 5,000 participants. We raised about $130,000. We just kicked off this year's challenge, April the 1st. We had hoped to have 10,000 participants and raise in the neighborhood of $300,000. And we're not quite there yet, but we've still got time to do that. So if you're interested in getting outside, get some exercise, multiple ways to sign up. You can sign up through the envelope sales or through the Legion website, or there's an app called Kilter, Kilter. You can sign up and track your participation there. But if you are looking for a place to make a contribution to my fundraiser for the year, the Veterans and Children's Foundation, that goes in the line. But it's just another way for us to help our Legionnaires and also help the headquarters and organization. The last thing I want to mention was last fall, during the height of the pandemic, there were many Legion posts in financial trouble. So the National Emergency Fund created a program called the Mission Blue Post Assistance Program. This Post Assistance Program it's just a fund. If a post is in financial trouble, they can apply for the grant. And it's not a lot, it is a grant, up to $1,000. You can use it for rent, utilities, mortgages, or insurance. You can't pay bartenders out of it, but many posts have seen those grants come and have been successfully used for those sort of things. It's a fairly easy process. It's not automatic, but we've given away over $420,000 since the inception last fall. If your post is in trouble, I'm sure Adjutant Marty can help you through that application process. Folks, it's a tremendous honor to stand here as your National Commander. The reception, the hospitality, the welcome from Illinois has been fabulous. Just thank you all very much for what you're doing. It's an honor to be here as your National Commander. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commander. Before we start our awards, I understand there's some presentations that would like to be brought forward. So, Commander Lorenzo, I believe you have a couple, actually.
If I could have the representatives from Humana up here, please. And if I could have Mayor Guerin up here, please. So I know we are here to, I know that the National Commander is here to thank us for our hard work, but I think it's also important that we thank our leadership, both within our Legion leadership and within our municipal leadership. So with that said, if I could have Tim and Raphael and Ed.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zapchevsky, Humana Market Point Sales Director for Greater Chicagoland area, including Rockford. So first and foremost, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and meet with all of you on behalf of Humana. It's been a wonderful evening. As you know, May is the Military Appreciation Month. With that, I want to personally express my gratitude to all the veterans here in the audience for your service, for your dedication, loyalty, putting your lives on the line to keep America safe. Thank you very much. With that said, I would like to award Commander James W. Oxford, National Commander James W. Oxford, with a certificate of appreciation for his continued support of the veteran community within the Greater Chicagoland area.
This is his first time giving someone a military charge.
And also this evening, I have a great pleasure to award a certificate of appreciation to Mayor David B. Guerin, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, for your continued support of the veteran community here in Chicago and specifically American Legion.
Thank you, Humana. And for those of you that have not had a chance to work with Humana, I'm telling you, you don't
That's
what
okay.
you're
That's
missing.
okay.
They are great supporters of our post. They are great supporters of our museum, and that's why there's 800 days, because they want everybody to understand that they are willing, able, and happy to work with us. So if you guys don't talk to them and get their cards before you leave, I think you should. With that said, I'd like to introduce members of Fisher House, Miss Betty, and I forget your last name, Miss Betty. Samadi. And Ray Stripling.
Thanks for having us here tonight. We are having a great time.
It's called a microphone, Ray.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here tonight. We're having a great time. We'd like to do some presentations of certificates of merit and recognition for some key individuals here tonight. You read these out. I'm not going to take the time to read them all through. They are actually the same throughout. But I'll read the first one here, which is actually addressed to the mayor, Mayor Garrett. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. It is with great admiration and gratitude that we, the Board of Directors of the Friends of Fisher House, Illinois, the supporting foundation of the Illinois Fisher Houses, commend and thank you and your organization for your enduring and vital support of the humanitarian mission of caring for our nation's greatest asset, our military, service members, veterans, and their families in their hour of greatest need as they receive much-needed life-saving medical services through our Department of Defense and Veterans Administration hospitals and medical centers. We as Americans are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, or Coast Guardsman, or veteran and their families receives a level of support in keeping with the service to our country and sacrifices they have made to preserve our freedoms. In the words of President Abraham Lincoln, we must care for those who have borne the battle, and for their widows and their widowers and their children. This is the vow we all take. We are encouraged by and grateful for your ongoing dedication and support that permits us to continue our work. May no service member, veteran, or family member ever know want. Respectfully submitted this day in the year of our Lord 2021, Raymond A. Stripling, on behalf of Betty Stamatis, Board President, Friends of Fisher House, Illinois. There's also an award here that is very similar, but it's from the Fisher House manager, Heinz Fisher House. It reads, Dear Mr. Guerin, on behalf of Heinz Fisher House, I would like to express my appreciation for the wonderful support that the Village of River Grove has provided to our program, our veterans and their families. The support from our local communities allows us to uphold the mission of Fisher House to provide free temporary lodging to our veterans and their families while receiving care at Heinz VA Hospital. The donations from the ongoing supply drives have been extremely beneficial. The efforts from the Village of River Grove have assisted us in making our house a home for our Fisher House guests. I truly appreciate your dedication in supporting Heinz Fisher House and caring for our nation's heroes. Sincerely, Holly Wright, Heinz Fisher House Manager. And actually going along with the awards is a challenge coin from the Heinz Fisher House.
This award goes to Commander James W. Oxford, National Commander of the American Legion. And Mr. Oxford, on behalf of Heinz Fisher House, I would like to express my appreciation for the wonderful support that the American Legion has provided to our program, our veterans and their families. The support from our local service organization allows us to uphold the mission of Fisher House to provide free temporary lodging to our veterans and their families while receiving care at Heinz VA Hospital. The efforts from the American Legion have assisted us in making our house a home for our Fisher House guests. I truly appreciate your dedication and support of Heinz Fisher House and caring for our national heroes. Sincerely, Holly Wright, LSW, Heinz Fisher House.
Now, for the sake of brevity and in order to get us to dessert, we're going to kind of move through these. They're all very similar, but they are for very special individuals. This one again is for
James W. Bill Oxford, National Commander of the American Legion. Roy Weber, Commander, Department of Illinois, American Legion. Roy Weber, Commander, Department of Illinois, the American Legion.